Hey everybody, Mr. Justin here with the Hernando County Public Library System. Thank you so much for joining us for our very first science experiment video. We're going to be posting one of these every week where we're going to do a fun little experiment, explain how it worked, why it did what it did, and then if you have the supplies at home, you can even try it yourself. And the supplies for this one are pretty easy, so hopefully you might have some of these supplies at home. So what we're going to need this week is we're going to need a Ziploc bag, either a slide zipper or a zip zipper, either is fine, and you just need to fill it with water, either halfway. I did a little more than halfway, but just put water in it. And then you need some at least one sharpened pencil. And so what we're going to do today is I'm actually going to poke a hole with the pencil through the bag of water. And so when I take the pencil and I poke it through, all the way through the bag of water, what do you think is going to happen with the bag? Is it going to leak? Is it not going to do anything? Is it going to explode on me and get me all wet? I don't know. Should we find out? Okay, so I'm going to do this over the little bucket just in case something goes horribly wrong here. But we're going to take the pencil. I'm going to put it directly through the bag and we're going to poke a hole all the way through, and as you can see, no camera tricks here. The pencil is now all the way through the plastic bag. Now, if I were to poke the pencil all the way through, obviously it's going to leak because it's going to have a permanent hole there. But as you can see, that we poked a pencil through and it did not leak at all. So let's go ahead, and I want to take another pencil. So I'm going to take another pencil and I'm going to put it, let's use my right hand. I'm going to go ahead and go down here, and I'm going to put it through here, and there it went again. Should we go for another one? Let's go for a third one. There we go. We now have 3 pencils in the bag. And do we see any water leaking out? Nope, still dry. Still dry. Should we do a couple more? Let's go up in this corner. Let's take an orange pencil. Let's do pencil number 4. And let's go ahead and there we go again. We have 4 pencils in the bag full of water, and there is no leak from the bag yet. So let's go ahead and do one more. Let's do our purple pencil. And we're going to go ahead and go over here. There we go. We now have 5 pencils in the bag. So wait a minute. How are we able to poke these holes in these pencils into these bags full of water without any sort of leak going on? Well, that's because we have the magic word of the day is polymer. So what's polymer? What is polymer? Well, polymer is the line of molecules that actually make up a lot of our plastics. So these plastic bags, like Ziploc bags, even grocery bags, are made up of polymers. And it's a long chain of molecules, and they are very flexible, lightweight, leak-proof, and they are very cheap to produce, which is why you see them in a lot of our plastics. And what's kind of cool about them is since they are so flexible, when you get a hole poked in them, they're kind of holding on tight to the object that created the hole, which is why they're holding on almost for dear life, but they're like clasping to the pencil, and they are kind of forming a leak-proof barrier, causing the water to not come out of the bag. So because of polymers, once again, we got the word polymer, they are flexible, lightweight, and the molecules that are in this plastic, and they are creating the little tight barrier that is causing no water to come out of the bag. Now what will happen, just for fun, let's put a couple more holes in here. We got 6, 7, 8, can we do 10? 9, and last one, 10. There we go, we have 10 pencils through our bag, which are 20 holes, right? Because each pencil has 2 holes in the bag. And because of the polymers, they are kind of making that barrier, holding on tight to the pencil, allowing no water to get through. Now, what will happen if I take one pencil out? We started with the red one. So what happens if I take the red pencil out? Do we have any guesses? So there's a couple things that could happen. Maybe once we take it out, the polymers will kind of just fill back in, not allowing the water to go through. Or the other thing that could happen is that we've created a permanent hole and the polymers are going to stay separate, causing the water to leak from the bag. So what do you think is going to happen? Let's find out. There we go. As we can see, that we created permanent holes in the plastic bag, causing the water to now leak out of the bag. So again, no water was leaking out when the pencils were in there because of polymers. But now that we took the pencils out and created those permanent holes, all the water is leaving the bag. And that is our very first experiment, and I hope you enjoyed our leak-proof bag. At the end, there were a lot of leaks in it, weren't there, because we took the pencils out. So if you have Ziploc bags, water, and a couple pencils at your home, you can try this experiment. I, again, would recommend maybe doing it over a sink, a bathtub, or a little bin, just like we did today, just so you don't get water all over the place. You can even try it outside. And so I hope everybody enjoyed our very first science experiment. We'll be back next week with a whole new experiment, and we'll see you then. Bye, everyone.